Welcome to this episode of Hot Topics with the Hots. Jordan, you're going to be a mother eventually. Tell me about some of your parenting roles.
My parenting roles.
Yes. What would you like to do as a mother, whether yours did it or yours didn't do it, that you want to carry with you?
That's a good one. I think my parents were not that strict growing up.
Okay.
I don't think I want to be a strict parent.
You do not?
No.
Okay. I also don't want to be like super strict. But like I think there's certain boundaries and different limits we can set on certain things. Like for example, I don't want to be the strict parent that doesn't let my kids watch SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh.
But like I don't know if my kids should be watching, R-rated movies when they're like 8.
No, but I mean, like my parents weren't strict as in like they never grounded us.
Never.
Never.
That was a little bit of a difference for me because I definitely felt that. We were definitely grounded.
No, my parents, I feel like they would get mad at us. More so like my dad than my mom. I feel like the dads are always a little bit more strict.
Yeah, given.
So like, my dad would like get mad at us sometimes, but he would never ground us. Like never be like, oh, you can't do anything for like X amount of times. But I'm actually not too sure about that. I feel like I just was never grounded. I feel like maybe my older brother was. But it, like, wasn't, like, a thing, like, that happened often. And, like, if he did get grounded, it probably lasted for, like, 2 days. And then it was done.
So, like, here's the difference. You are the youngest child. And I'm the oldest. So, The parents, by nature, are stricter with
the older
kids.
Yeah.
So, you just didn't get any of it.
Yeah.
That your mom and dad were already done grounding by the time that you come around.
Well, not only was I the youngest, but I also was the only girl. And I was kind of just, like, babied.
Oh, I understand that completely.
So, like, I feel like with me, they were just like, whatever.
They just gave it to you. But here's something that I want to make sure about my kids. I'm the oldest. Mm-hmm. I feel that it's very, very unfair when my siblings are able to get away with things now that I wouldn't have been able to back then. I think that before we end up having any kids, we need to determine what exactly are the ground rules going to be. And when the first one comes along, that kind of needs to set the precedent. I don't really want to differ. I don't want to differ too far from the path. I mean, obviously with times changing, there could be variations. But one of the things that always comes to mind with myself is we were not allowed to get phones until we were like 15 or 13. So I wasn't allowed to have a cell phone until I was 13. Okay? Mm-hmm. But my sister got one at the age of 11.
I had one at a very young age also.
See, that's the thing. But we weren't allowed. So it was a rule that we couldn't have the phones until.
Yeah. Well, I think that I had one at a very young age because I think it was a little different with me because my parents did get divorced. So I kind of had to keep in contact with them in some way. But I think I got my very first phone at I don't even know what age. It was probably 9 or something. But it was a flip phone, it was one of my mom's old phones, and I just got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But I think it might have been different just because my parents were divorced, so I had to kind of keep in contact in some way.
That's understandable.
But I didn't get my first iPhone, I think, until I was probably maybe in 7th grade.
Okay. That's when I said I got my first phone in 7th grade. I was around 13. That's old? Yeah, you're about 13 in 7th grade.
12, 13.
Yeah. That's when I got my first phone. And disregarding the parent stuff, how big of a thing was Kik?
Oh my god.
Kik was the way to communicate. Was it not?
Yeah, it was.
That was where we made group chats. That was the pre-Snapchat texting app.
Oh, Kik, yeah, that's I forgot about that app.
Yeah, I did too. But that's what I used to message on when I was.
But I don't even understand why that was the thing that we messaged on.
Because you could, it was no different than like text.
Right. It's like, but like, why did we message on Kick instead of just texting?
I don't know.
There was really no difference at all.
I don't know. I didn't make the rules.
I know, but that was just what everyone used.
That's just what we used. That is what we used. Kick.
Yeah.
K-I-K. It was weird. Mm-hmm. Definitely interesting. But circling back down into the parenting style, I mean, obviously we want to talk about when we have a kid. By the way, we're not actually having a kid right now. Eventually, we're going to have a kid. But right now, we don't have one. But we want to just talk about our parenting styles and get any suggestions from any other parents out there, future parents out there on what they want to do with their kids. Because we had this conversation the other day and thought it would be a good topic to bring to you guys. But as far as some other things, discipline is a huge thing that we need to be on the same page.
But I think disciplining is where we differ. This is the area where we very much so differ.
Well, and I think that we need to figure out where we can meet with it.
Because you're all about, like, if my kid does something wrong, like, they're gonna get hit, quote unquote. Like, they're gonna get, like, smacked or whatever. But I don't want to do that. I'm not hitting my kid.
You'll have to do something.
I don't really think I ever really got hit as a kid.
Okay, so I know, that's different for you.
I think my brothers did a little bit, but they were, like, worse than me. Like, I think that they, like, acted out more than I did. Obviously, like, they're boys. Like, they kind of whatever. But I may have gotten a little bit, but, like, it was very, very rare, I think, if I did at all. So, like, I'm not really about that because my parents never really did it.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Like, we did here. Yeah. We got hit. Not, like, hit, but, like, we got smacked.
Which is, like, bad. I mean, it's, like, a normal thing to do to, like, a kid. Like, I mean, normal.
I mean, about a dog, too. Like, when your dog's bad, what do? You smack him.
Right. And, I mean, I guess it's, like, a normal thing to do because it's, like, your kid needs to know, like, if you're going to do something wrong, like, you're going to get punished for it. So, like, you're going to get hit. But, like, I don't want to hit my kid. Like, that just feels so wrong.
I don't want to hit them, but it's, like, they need to understand. But I feel like I'm not going to, like, beat a kid.
No, I know.
I'm just saying that, like, let's say, okay, I'm just going to use my dog for an example because he's basically my son. If he pees in the house, I'm going to smack him on the butt because that was bad and he should not have done that. So what does he do? He puts his head down and he runs away in his crate. He knows now that is not what he should be doing. So the next time he'll think about peeing in the house, he won't be in the house because he'll say, wait a minute, last time I got smacked. I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you go about it, like positive or negative reinforcement. So, like, I also think that when there are good things done, there needs to be, like, positive enforcement. Like, good job, you did this. Like, if they get grades, they get good grades. Oh, good job. We'll take you out to dinner if you got a good on your report card. Or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Promoting positive behavior and punishing and deferring negative. But yeah, that's one of the things we kind of probably have to get on the same page about because I know parents out there that aren't. And it's hard because then those kids are the ones who act the worst. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like I don't know. Like, obviously I don't want to, like, hit my kid, but I know, like, once I become a parent, like, I'm probably going to realize, like, okay, this is, like, that you need to in order for them to understand. But it's, like, I feel bad because I know, like, when I was a kid and, like, I remember it happening to, like, my brother one time because he was just, like, acting like a dummy. I mean, like, it's bound to happen. I just remember, like, I felt so, like, guilty for him. Like, I felt so bad for him.
You felt sad for him?
Because, like, he got, like, smacked. Like, I was, like, that, like, hurts me that he got it. But, like, it's not like it was, like, my fault. Like, he was just acting like a dummy.
Yeah. No,
but it's, like, I don't know, like, as a parent, it's, like, I'm gonna feel, like, guilty.
You'll probably feel, like, sad. You'll probably get sad when you do it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine you'd be happy. Then maybe you'd have a problem.
Right.
Like I can imagine that you'll probably feel sad. I mean, for me, it wasn't necessarily like I didn't necessarily feel sad when my siblings got beat, because normally the issue stemmed from one of us. Mm-hmm. Like we created the issue, so now we have to deal with the consequences of it. But I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, I don't think it's going to be like an enjoyable experience to have to discipline and like make sure your kid's in line, because on one angle, you don't want to like over discipline them, but you also don't want to have a kid that's so like spoiled and thinks they can do anything and entitled and self-righteous. But then you don't want a kid who will just go out and just be on the streets and doing drugs and gang activity and stuff like that. You don't want that. So you need to figure out exactly like your plan to when you want to have a kid, to how you're going to discipline them. And even if you're a single parent household, I mean, a lot of people, they now take on the responsibility and kind of stick to that.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, even with other things that I remember growing up with, like, how about like time? Like, that was a big thing for my mom, like time spent. So like my mom works like part-time. Ever since she had her first kid, she worked part-time. So how's time going to be a factor when we have kids?
Just like spending time with them?
Yeah, and like who's delegated to do different things?
See, I feel like you spent a lot of time with your family growing up, but I don't know if like, I mean, obviously like I had a really different childhood. My parents got divorced at a very young age. Like I was like 6 or 7 when they split up. And then from there, I mean, like my mom has owned a business since she like gave birth to my older brother. Like she has, been in that business for 25 years or whatever. So like she spent a lot of her time there. And then, my dad spent a lot of time working too, because like both my parents were single parents. They had to like provide by themselves for 3 kids. So I feel like I didn't get like as much time with my parents like growing up, only because like it was so different. Like they just worked and provided, and like we would have definitely times where like we would spend time together, but I don't think it was as much as like you guys.
So are you going to value that more?
Yeah, I think so.
In your own family?
I mean, like now growing up, like I think I spend more time with my family. But I mean, I guess it's like different now. Like I'm like an adult, so it's like,
yeah, it is definitely different now. But I mean, like for your own family, are you going like when you?
Yeah.
Is this going to be something that you prioritize?
For sure.
Like going to flag football
I
games?
I always said, and I obviously don't think that this is going to happen, but I mean, you never know. I don't know where my job's going to lead me. I don't know where your job's going to lead you. I don't know how financially stable we're going to be, but I always told myself that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, I don't know who told you that.
Me. I always said I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom because like I wanted to be there for my kids and like provide for them and like be with them all the time.
Big hot ain't the one.
But like I said, I don't know if that's gonna, I mean, like I don't necessarily like need to be a stay-at-home mom, but I would like, when I do have kids, to definitely not be at work like a lot. Like I want to prioritize my kids.
Maybe when the content blows up, you could just do that.
Maybe.
And then that you'll be able to stay at your house and make videos with them.
Maybe.
Look at what Kim Kardashian does with Northwest and the other ones. Well,
the other ones?
Northeast, South, and West. I don't know. One of them.
Right.
Like she hangs out with them and they make videos. But no, I think that's definitely good. But yeah, for me, it was like we had a little more time. We went on vacation every year, which I like. I like going on vacation in general, like multiple times a year myself. Mm-hmm. But like when you have a family, being able to go on vacation somewhere.
And we did go on vacation, like when my parents were together. Like we would go to Florida every year. But then obviously like they got divorced, so then like we couldn't do that anymore. So like the last time I like went on a family vacation was like back in like 2009.
2009. Okay.
I mean, obviously we've gone on vacation a bunch, but like the last time like I ever went like with my family was like 2009.
Right. So it's been a while. Yeah, we went like last year, right? To New Mexico.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, me and my family went to New Mexico last year.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too long ago, but I think that might be one of the finale trips. That was a pretty big trip. We stayed in a cave and everything. Mm-hmm. But that might be one of the finale trips just because everyone's getting so much older and going out and going places, and where I'm going out with you, or my brother's going out with someone else, or this or that. It doesn't really matter, but just we're a little bit busier nowadays.
Yeah, it's harder to plan now.
Right. And with the time spent, what about like sporting events? One of my big things is I would love to, even now if I could, I would love to coach a flag football team. I loved playing it. Like I was actually good. I was really good when I played. When I was in like middle school and high school, when I played, I was pretty good. We went to like Florida, so I had a really good experience playing. It's non-contact, so you don't mess up your head or anything like that. I'm not a really huge fan of playing tackle. I've seen way too many bad injuries. But flag is just all of the same things, but no, like minimal contact. And I would love to coach an actual team. I think that would be so fun to just coach a little team of maybe like elementary school kids and like teach them to like throw the ball and run and play.
Yeah.
I just think that would be awesome. So that's definitely something I would do. I mean, what sport do you want your kid to get into?
I don't know. Me and my siblings never played sports growing up. So, like, my parents never, like, would go to sporting events. Or, like, we never really experienced that because, we never played. But, I mean, I feel like all kids, for some reason, like, start out playing soccer.
You know what? I was just going to say
They all do at a very young age. I feel like they all start out playing soccer. And then eventually, like, as they grow, they're like, oh, I'll do, like, basketball or, like, football. But I feel like every little kid starts out playing soccer.
Yeah, and I don't know why either. Like, I tried soccer, too. I did not like it. I was not a big soccer guy.
So, I don't know. Maybe they'll play soccer. But then maybe, like, I mean, I'm sure they'll grow into other sports, but...
I tried playing baseball. I wasn't a fan of baseball.
I hate baseball.
I hope my kid doesn't like baseball.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone to a baseball game, I never know what's going on. It takes so long. It's the most boring sport ever. I hate it so much.
Basketball is pretty good, though. I think when my sister played basketball, I liked going to those.
I don't mind.
Those are high energy, high paced, very fast.
I don't mind basketball. I've never really watched, like, soccer, but... No, I really don't want my kid to play baseball because baseball is just so boring. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I can't deal with the baseball.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind anything else, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, that might be... They're definitely... One of them's going to definitely try soccer.
Yeah,
because someone's parent likes soccer, and they're like, let's create a little league team, and then, one kid plays, and then the next kid joins. And then you got a whole team of these little kids that don't know how to play, just kicking a ball around outside.
Just smacking each other around.
Yeah,
and hitting the ball in faces.
So then you get a little league soccer team, and then, then the kids are like, why am I doing this? I don't even like this.
I know.
That was my one cousin, Lana. She was like, I really don't like this. So then she quit. But, I gotta let them do what they want to do. So back to like parenting, like we had our discussion about discipline, about time, about general parenting. So I know this was something that came up the other day that we were talking about. Let's talk about, now we're getting into the a little bit farther. This is not when we're teaching little kids here. We're talking about teen years here.
Teen years are obviously the hardest years, I think, of having a child.
I probably would agree. That's gotta be the hardest.
Like, obviously, I'm sure, having a newborn baby and a toddler is hard, but teen years, that's when you go through everything with your child.
It's because they're self-aware.
They're going through puberty, so they're going through all these emotions, but now it's like they're like, oh, I'm interested in this and all these different things, and I'm interested in dating, and you know, and they have their own like identity now.
Yeah, they're like self-aware, like they are their own person. They're more than what you have made them to be.
Right. So it's like I mean, girls are definitely harder. Harder to deal with as teenagers than boys are, I think.
That's probably true.
But then again, I mean, obviously I'm not a parent. I don't really know. Because I have heard like vice versa too, that like boys are hard to deal with. But I feel like girls, you have to have so many conversations with girls. Like you have to I remember when my mom...
It's probably worse.
What?
Like dealing with a girl during that age, I can imagine.
Like, my mic's all fucked up. I remember my mom telling me about like a period, because like you know, I was getting to that age and like my boobs were like hurting. And I'm like, why do they hurt? And then, like, my mom was, like, telling me about how you have a period. And I'm like, what? This is so weird. And, like, I remember my mom was like, well, you should tell your dad that we had this talk. And, like, you should tell your dad that, like, you're having symptoms of it. And I was like, I don't want to. Because, like, I was, like, a little, like, older at this point. I might have been, like, 11 or something. Like, 10 or 11. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, my parents were divorced. So, like, my mom wasn't talking to my dad. So, like, I had to go to my dad's house. And I did not want to tell my dad that, like, I was having, like, symptoms of, like, puberty. Because, like, I was just, like, embarrassed. And I was like, I don't want my dad to know. But, like, obviously, like, my dad's, like, been through this stuff. Like, he had a whole wife and sisters. And, like, obviously he knows. So, yeah. And I just remember. But, like, my mom had that conversation with me about my period. But I didn't even get my period until, like, 2 years later.
So you...
Like, 2 or 3 years later.
It took you a while.
Like, I think I got my period in, like, 8th grade.
8th grade.
Yeah.
That's like I think average is like 7th grade.
I think I was like one of the last people to get my period, like out of my grade. Maybe not last, but out of my friend group that I had at the time, I was like the last one. Or one of the last ones.
Think about how crazy that is. Like, even when you're in like 8th grade, and like that's when, pretty much 7th grade, that's when I said I got my phone. Like, you're like a fresh girl, like going through like these emotions, and you just now get your hands on social media. That changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes literally everything.
I know.
Because then, like, now people are like, you can, like, you have access to so much more information and people. That's probably why they say social media hurts people, because, like, you figure, like, someone malleable in that state, you know, they'll listen to whatever they can hear and start hearing bad things about themselves, and that makes people have issues.
Yeah. So, yeah, I remember I had that talk with my mom about my period.
Yeah.
And honestly, I never had the birds and the bees talk.
No?
Did you?
No.
You never did?
No, never.
Okay, how'd you find out about it all?
How did I find out about just like sex
how it
in
all
general?
works, the names, like how'd you figure it all out?
So, funny thing is, I didn't even know about it. Like, I knew about, like, when I was young, don't look at this or don't look at that. Okay, I knew about, like, it was not supposed to be seen, right? But I was riding the bus home in middle school. Okay?
Okay.
I was, like, in 5th grade, I think. And the neighbor kid, who was, like, 2 years older than me at the time, he says, yo, bro, look up nature girls online. He said, look up naturegirls.com. So I'm like, all right, naturegirls.com. So I go home. Is it like a
porn site?
Yes. So I go home. I'm on my I have an iPad at the time. That's like it's like an iPad that I just had.
No.
And he's like, look it up when you get home. He said, but don't tell anyone. I said, nature girls? He said, well, I said, what is it? Is it like just people exploring nature? Like, I'm not really into like that, like nature stuff. He's like, look it up. You'll thank me later.
Oh my God.
So I go on my iPad. I'm looking it up. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. It was literally girls in nature, fully out, everything. And I think that might have been the first exposure I had ever had to like seeing it all out, everything, and just seeing like everything and being like, wow, what is that? And it was just like so secretive before, but now I'm like seeing this thing and I'm like, whoa, I like that. definitely like that. Next day rolls around, I'm like, yo, bro, how'd you find that? He's like, I got more where that came from, if you want to know some. And I'm like, if you have any. He's like, Nature Girls is the best one I found, but there's some other, and he told me some other shit I don't remember now, but that was the main prevalent one when I actually like saw everything for the first time. Hearing about it, I probably heard about it from people at school, from like, I can't pinpoint the exact moment that I knew that like sex was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that like that was my first exposure to like seeing like a naked everything, everything all out was Nature Girls. I wonder if they have it up. Someone look that up, naturegirls.com.
Bro, no, don't look it up.
Someone look it up. And if you're below the age in your middle school, you're welcome.
No. Don't look it up.
But that was like the first time I like heard about it. Really, I mean, I think that was it. I think it was just talks at school.
Mm-hmm.
When did you hear? Because you said you didn't get a talk. So did someone tell you? Mean you told two older brothers, so that may have.
So I never got the talk, but like naturally, having two older brothers growing up, you kind of just hear things from them.
Oh God!
Like I don't know. Like I just think that my brothers like would just. Like, they would play their Xbox and stuff, and I feel like while they're on the like mic with their friends, like they would just be talking about like, random shit, and I feel like that's kind of where I learned like the names of like things and like that like sex is like a thing, like because like I don't even know where else I would have like heard about it. But I know that, like, my brothers have definitely, like, talked about it growing up. And I think that's kind of, like, naturally where I just, like, learned about it. And, like, as I, like, got into my teen years, I kind of was, like, hearing about it more from school.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I think I pretty much just learned it from having two older brothers.
That makes sense.
Right.
That makes
where
sense.
They heard about it, I don't know. I don't know where, my brothers heard about it
they
from.
Figure Nature Girls.
Probably. Jared, have you been on Nature Girls?
He probably has. Guaranteed. So then that poses the question of, now how do you handle like this conversation with your kids?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you don't know at all?
Well, the thing that we talked about the other day was like...
Well, so you want me to get into it?
The thing that we talked about the other day is, how do you go about having, like, teenage kids who are obviously at the age of they're going to want to explore and, like... Like, get into stuff like that. Because obviously it's, like, your first kiss. Like, that's, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, once that happens, it's, like, it's all downhill from there.
Downhill?
Like, once you experience that first kiss, you're like,
whoa.
What else can I do?
What else is there?
I mean, that's how it goes. I
don't know. My first kiss and first other thing were kind of very, very far apart. So I mean, I had my first kiss in 7th grade, and I didn't start.
Mine were not far apart.
Yeah, well, you're different. You're different, buddy.
The thing with me is that like, I had my first kiss freshman year of high school.
That's late for. I don't know. Actually.
I feel like it is a little bit late, but at the same time, like, I obviously like was interested in boys like for a while, but like being in like middle school and stuff, like I never really like hung out with like boys. But like once you get into like high school, you have more opportunities to like hang out with like boys. Whether it's like high school events or like whatnot, like you're making like older friends.
That's
and it's
true.
like, so it's like then in high school I was like, okay. So like, yeah, I didn't even have my first kiss until freshman year.
Yeah, so yeah, you kind of like picked up the pace once you figured out about the kissing part. You were like, I'm all in. Wish it was that easy. I tried that. But what I was gonna get into is like, how do we handle the same situations that we went through with our own kids? So I'll give my take. This might sound alarming. I don't want like sex to be a fully taboo thing in my house. Mm-hmm. I get like, I don't want to promote my kids should like go have sex with like their girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Like I don't want to say like, yeah, go do it. But like I don't want to deter it either.
Yeah, and I agree.
Because I mean, not necessarily deter it, but like I think deterring it just allows for more sneaky activity, more disconnect, and just being more resentful of like the rules that you put in place. I think there needs to be some rules behind what happens. Like if I found out that it was happening, I wouldn't like promote it or like want it to happen. I would try to not prevent, but like, I don't know. Yes, kind of prevent it from continually going on.
Well, like the thing is like
over the amount of time. Like I think there's like a limit.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, like I don't want to be like, yeah, just go do whatever you want and like have sex, because like you don't know what's gonna happen if you say that.
I know.
But I also like don't want to be like, sex is bad, don't do that, because it's like, as a growing teen, you are curious and you're going through all these emotions, and it's like you are going to feel things that you have never felt before, and you're going to want to like do that and explore, especially if you're like interested in somebody and want to date somebody. Like it's kind of hard to like not do that stuff.
Yeah, but like the first ever person,
yeah,
you want to make sure it's like actually a good person,
right?
Because I think that can really mess like with someone for like an entire life if it's not, or it takes a long time for someone to get over it.
Yeah, but like I think like if it happened, I would want my kids to tell me.
They won't.
And they won't. But
why would they?
I don't know. But I would want my kids to tell me only because like I would want to know when it happens, especially a girl, because like if you're a girl, like you know that like once it happens, like it's kind of serious. Like you being a girl, it's like you need to be safe about it, whether it's like getting on birth control or like
I think that's necessary,
getting like tests done. Like I don't know, like I feel like, yeah, it's important for like a guy to like also be aware and like, you know, tell his parents and like have that talk, but I feel like it's more serious for girls because girls like go through a lot, and I feel like you need to get on birth control and be safe about it.
Yep.
So like if my daughter did it, like I feel like I'd want her to tell me, and I want her to like be comfortable and feel safe coming to me about it. Like I don't want her to like.
They're not though. I don't know if any kid will ever
That's
be
the
like
thing,
just
like
okay with saying.
I mean,
all of those
no,
things.
like they're not. Like obviously they're gonna be like scared, but I want them to know that like it's gonna be safe to like tell me, because it's like I don't think I'm gonna be happy, but I'm not gonna be mad, because like obviously if you're a teenager, like it's gonna happen. Like that's what they do.
What would be too early? What age is like, okay, wait, now hold the hell up. What is like the too early?
14.
So you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, I no, because I think that my age was too early.
I also agree. I think the the prime number is like 16.
16.
To expect it.
To expect it, yes.
But I think in the day and age where we're at, it could possibly happen at 15 and be like, all right.
Yes. But like I said, I would just want them to be like comfortable telling me, because it's like that is a serious thing that like if it happens, like we probably should have that talk. Like, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna get you on birth control?
Is it a full talk, or is it like if we know like the daughter's having sex, are both of us there to talk about it, or no? Is that like a you thing?
It might
and
just
is,
be
like,
a me
the son
thing.
Is just like a me thing. Or
it might
what?
just be a me thing, only because I feel like a girl would be more comfortable.
Probably wouldn't want to tell her dad about that, really.
Oh, I never told my father. Obviously, I'm sure now he knows, and I'm sure he's probably watching this. So, what's up, Dad? But no, I never told my fucking dad that I did it. I told my mom.
I know, but your dad probably knew, but like you're on like birth control, you're on this,
I mean,
like you're doing
obviously, he probably knew at a certain age. I mean, I don't think that he knew at 14 that I was.
Well, now he knows.
Like, I'm sure he knew by like a certain age. I mean, like, I had a few like serious relationships, so I'm sure he probably kind of understood. But no, I never told my father, and like I don't ever want to admit it to my father. Like, now I'm 21, he knows like that stuff happens.
Gotta know at least.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, your situation's a little different than mine. Mine was like forcibly known. What I mean by that is like, yes, I was like caught.
Yeah,
I was like literally caught mid action.
Ugh,
so
I can't imagine that.
I had to deal with that, and that was probably worse than what you. I don't know how. Did you just tell your mom?
Yeah, no, I told my mom.
You just come and told her.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't, and I just got like, whoa, what's going on here? and then I had to have that conversation, which wasn't good at the time, because it was like a huge deal. It was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah,
you're down bad for that.
I mean, yeah, I was. At the time, I was down bad. I was like, fuck. Shit, I remember that. Like, I could go back to the scene and remember it exactly. Like, well, it was my dad too. Come down.
Oh,
my dad came down and said,
bad.
"What the fuck? I don't got time to deal with this bullshit," and then walked away. And I was like, "Fuck." I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
No, you're fucked, and you're fucked.
I'm like, this is it. This might be the end for me. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking to myself, dude, I'm literally gotta like, I'm done. This is it. And then no, the worst part, bruh, is me and my girlfriend at the time had to sit down with both of my parents and her mother.
Oh.
And have like a conversation.
Oh, I would throw
all
up.
of us together.
I'd throw up.
That was bad. We had to all sit down. No, I don't know if I'd do. I don't know.
I wouldn't do all that. That's doing too much.
I was like that. Yeah, that was a little bit much. But like,
at the time I could understand, but like now going into like our generation being parents, I feel like that's like a lot. Like, we would never do that.
No, that's a lot. I don't know if I would even. Oh, I don't know. It was definitely something. So yeah, maybe if yours didn't know and you were like, you know, kind of kept it on the low and only told your mom and you guys talked, for me it was different. And then once that happened, everything changed.
I don't even think me and my mom really like talked about it though. I think I kind of just like told her and like that was that.
You just told her at the age of 14. You told and she was just chilling.
I don't really remember how she.
Bruh, what do you mean?
I don't. She wasn't happy about it, but like I don't think she was like mad because like she obviously kind of just like expected that it would happen.
Bruh.
But like, I don't know.
I mean, it was different. We don't want to be the. We don't want to be the ones that like. The kids like hate their parents.
No, I don't.
You know, you don't want to like have your kids like hate you, but you need to like walk a line. Low key, probably being a parent is one of the hardest roles.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna have to say, like, Because there's absolutely no correct answer.
No. There's not.
No,
Things are
there's-
always like changing in the
Yep.
world, and it's like you never know what to do.
Yep. There's no right answer to it at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard, and everyone goes through their own, every parent or family goes through their own issues and struggles and this and that. But it's just, you have to do your best while you can.
Yeah. And going based off of just like being a parent, and there's never like a right answer or whatever, I want to talk about something that happened this week.
This week, okay. This is our trending flame?
Yes.
All right, so our trending flame of the week.
So I'm sure a lot of people have heard, but Ruby Franke, I'm pretty sure it's Ruby,
The YouTuber.
from 8 Passengers YouTube, had gotten arrested recently for, I'm not 100% sure what she got arrested for, but I know the reasoning behind it. I don't know what she got charged for and like what
Child
ended
abuse,
up happening.
right?
It might have been.
I believe it was child abuse.
As you guys have probably seen a million times, she has been vlogging her life for how many years now, and multiple times in her videos, like all of her videos, she has shown how bad of a parent she is and how much she abuses her kids. Like, there have been times where she said, like, she has like a 4-year-old daughter, and she had said in the camera that her 4-year-old daughter is responsible for waking herself up every morning for preschool. As a 4-year-old, you are not responsible for that. How are you supposed to be responsible for waking yourself up every morning to go to preschool? So one day she was talking and she was like, she didn't wake up, so she didn't go to preschool. She missed school. And then her daughter went to school one time. I don't know if this was the 4-year-old or if this was the one that was like a little bit older, but she had forgotten her lunch. Like, she didn't have a lunch. And the school had called Ruby and was like, can you drop off a lunch? And she was like, no, it's my daughter's responsibility to pack her own lunch every day and make sure that she has lunch. So she's going to sit there and she's going to starve all day.
She could have just bought it.
Your daughter is like how old? Like, if it wasn't the 4-year-old, it was the one that was a little bit older, which was probably like 6 or 7. Like, how is your kid like responsible for packing their own lunch? Like, I see once you hit the teen years, then you're like responsible for like waking yourself up and like packing your lunch and stuff. But like, when you're young like that, you're just supposed to like know.
I don't know.
But like there's like multiple other things that like she has done and like proven that she's just like a bad mom. Like, she literally took the bed away from her son.
I did hear about that.
She took the bed away for like 7 months. He had to sleep on a bean bag for 7 months.
God.
And then I also think the one time she made him sleep outside in like a sleeping bag. Because he like, the kid like pulled a prank or something on like the other son.
Yeah.
So like she did so many bad things, and then but she got arrested recently because she had been like starving her 2 youngest children, and apparently there was duct tape wrapped around their ankles and their wrists.
Damn.
She was like literally physically and like abusing them and like was starving them and all these things, and it's like this has been going on for like a while.
Didn't that happen with another big family that was on TV? Jon Kate Plus 8 or something like that? I believe they got some charges too.
I think Jon did. Like, I think Kate, I don't think did anything. But I think Jon...
There was some issue with that whole
There was
family.
something. I think Jon, like, did something. I don't know if he was, like, abusing his kids or what he was doing. I never really fully looked into that. But I know that something happened. But I don't think it was Kate that did anything. But anyways, like, yeah, so that's like what was going on recently with that. And it's like this has been being posted on YouTube for so long, and like no one has done anything.
I can tell you why though. So looking at it, she's posting it on YouTube, right? people probably think that this is an act.
I don't know. I don't know if people think it's an act.
I mean,
because, like,
it sounds extreme, right? Waking your kid is 4 years old and has to wake her own self up for school. Like, I don't even think you're going to preschool.
But I don't think it's an act because...
But that's probably why people didn't call originally or think about it originally, because they probably thought it was an act.
I don't know if they thought it was, because I think in some of the videos, the oldest daughter, Sherry, had said, like, I think in the one video where she was talking about how she missed school, I think Sherry had said something along the lines of, like, she's 4, how is she going to be responsible for this? Like, I think that she was, like, coming back at her mom being like, she's not responsible for this.
Yeah.
But she also, like, the mom also said, like, once you're 18, you have to move out. So Sherry is, like, 20 now.
She's out.
She moved out, and she has been, like, trying to get, like, have something done about this for, like, a while, I think. Because she knows that her mom's, like, a bad person. And I think for a while she's been, like, trying to, like, have something done. And then finally, like, this happened recently. She, like, posted on her Instagram story the police car and then put finally.
I saw that.
Because she was, like, happy that something finally happened.
I saw that, yeah. But now what are you going to do with all those kids?
Well, I think they might... I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it might... Because, like, Ruby has 2 other sisters that are also YouTubers. Ellie and Jared, I think that's who it is. Ellie is, like, her sister. She's also a YouTuber, like a family YouTuber. She has kids, but, like, she's, like, totally, completely normal. Like, they posted, like, a statement about it saying, like, that they've been trying to help the kids out for a while, but there was nothing that they could do and whatever. So, like, maybe the kids will just end up going to, like, and staying with them.
Maybe. That might be what happens.
But it's, like, it's just, like, crazy because it's, like, there's so many bad parents out there, like, that are literally just documenting this stuff. Like, she's, like, such a bad parent.
That's, like, that's, like, a bad parent, right? I don't want to disregard it, but, like, there are worse than that.
Yeah.
I have, like, have you heard of any of, like, the cases where they kill the kids and stuff like that? Like, some of that's really bad.
Well, I mean, even thinking about, I don't know if you've heard of the Chris Watts.
Is that the one in Ohio?
No. The Chris Watts documentary. It's on Netflix. I watched it. He literally, like, killed his wife, who was pregnant, and his 2 daughters, and put his 2 daughters in an oil tank, or I think it was something like that. That scared me.
Hurry up, finish what you're saying.
Anyways, what the fuck? I turned it off. He, like, put his 2 daughters in, like, an oil tank and, like, buried his wife or something somewhere. Like, that's just so fucked up. All because he was, like, cheating on his wife with, like, another girl, and he just, like, didn't want his family anymore, so he just completely killed him off.
I think I actually did hear about that.
And he acted like his wife just went missing. Like, he was talking to the cops, like, oh my god, she went missing. Like, I don't know where she is. She left her phone. All along, he had already killed them the night before.
Okay, I think I did know about that one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave you with a burning question.
The burning question for this week is: are you going to have the birds and the bees talk with your children?
And if you are, leave us a comment and also let us know what age you'll be doing that. So if you're going to be doing that at 13, 14, 15, before then, if you're going to have the birds and the bees talk, tell us yes or no and when you're going to have that talk.
Also, let us know how many kids you want to have. Yeah,
tell us how many you want. We're always looking to know. We personally want 4. She might say 3, but I might add another. So just to make it clear again, we are not having a kid right now.
No.
We're not. She's not pregnant. We got you because you stayed till the end. But eventually we will. And now you know our parenting styles, and now you know how we want to parent our kids. So we're glad that you sticked around. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, turn the notification bell on. Send this to your friends, whatever you want, because the hots are going big. They're going viral. We got more podcasts coming. We got more videos coming. Stay tuned. We're going to see you on the next one.